Joining me now with his 2022 pharma outlook, Jeff Meacham is senior analyst at Bank of America. Jeff, welcome.
Thank you, Kelly, for having me. Happy New Year.
And to you. And what do you see as the big catalyst to come for Pfizer when it feels like so much should be in their recent past already?
Right. It's a good question. I would say Paxlovid, the oral COVID pill, is probably going to have, I think a pretty robust launch, provided that they can scale up. But there's just a lot of other things going on in Pfizer's pipeline. I'd also say that, we evaluated their cash flow and they can generate more than $100 billion in cash in the next 4 years. So M&A could be a big part of the story this year and next.
And could you describe a little bit what we should maybe anticipate on that front?
What they have said is they want to go after companies in similar therapeutic areas. So probably not going to buy technologies or things like that. So I would say larger scale deals that, not mega pharma deals, but let's call it mid-sized biotechs. But that could really solve the LOE problem that they have, starting in 2025, 2026.
Sorry, what's LOE?
Patent expirations.
Got it. Understood. Let's talk about why you think they're so much better positioned than Moderna. Moderna is one of the few companies you do have it as an underperform. Why?
The basis for that is we're not negative on Moderna from a technology perspective. We think that they've invested, properly in the business. It's just the assumptions that one needs for boosters to get to consensus forecasts. We're talking, 5, 8, 10 billion in 2023 and beyond. I just think that is less likely. I mean, most folks, wouldn't want to get boosted in quarantine and continue this cycle for the foreseeable future. At least you could say, well, Pfizer has a pill, which I think practically and convenience-wise, I think will definitely be more exciting to folks in a COVID world versus this perpetual cycle of boosters.
What would change your mind about Moderna?
A lot of investors believe that the flu and CNB and other programs that they have in the pipeline, are going to be super fast and developed equally as fast as Spikevax or COVID therapy. And the problem is that it's a normal drug development cycle. It's going to take a few more years. But if they can show dramatic benefits in some non-COVID pipeline, assets, and get them on the market or get at least to a de-risking point faster, then I think that would make us a little bit more positive.
All right, your 135 price target still well below 220 where the shares are now. Let me switch back to Pfizer for just a moment. There, your price target is 70. Don't the antivirals sort of eat away at their vaccine market share? And how much does COVID, if you could even break it down this way, factor into your price target?
Yeah, COVID's a big part of the cash flow in the next 4 years or so. It's more than half that we assume. But I would say, in general, though, we don't even for Pfizer have, boosters having long-lasting P&L impact. Really, it's the oral that could. I just think, let's say in 3 to 5 years, it's probably best to stockpile the oral in the case of having outbreaks in certain, neighborhoods or cities or even countries, versus trying to revaccinate and reboost, to do that cycle every single year. So to us, the oral, has a lot more durability, whereas we're less optimistic that the vaccine boosters are going to be durable.
Well, let me just emphasize that there's a lot of people who think all of these boosters are just about, pharmaceutical companies wanting profits. And you actually think that their antiviral pill treatment is going to be more lucrative than their boosters?
I think so. Definitely from an operational perspective, the margins on the oral are much, much higher than the booster, just given their shared economics with partner BioNTech. But really from a stockpiling perspective, it to me makes more sense for the oral because it reduces the risk of hospitalization, severe infections, and those are things that can really tax healthcare systems. So having that around, I think, is a little bit more rapid to respond to an outbreak should a new strain emerge.
Fascinating. Jeff, thanks for all your time today. We really appreciate it.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.